What podcast is this, Tristan?
It's Quest for the Best. All right. So if we're good, we're gonna start.
Is that not just the start of the podcast?
I don't know where the start actually happened.
No, it was there. It was pretty good.
I thought we were on a roll there, Miles, for doing the intro actually properly and responsively, like good podcast hosts. Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and others. Today you find us three weary travelers on a never-ending dirt road that lines the border between greatness and absolute garbage, a pilgrimage that all great fans of anime should one day travel down, but today it is our turn. We will ask many questions and receive many answers. Today's answer is almost, but not yet. I'm Tristan.
I'm Miles.
I'm Geoff.
And this is Quest for the Best, because that is how you open it, Miles. We don't just do random stuff. This isn't the Toronto arc anymore. We're not doing it like we did it.
This isn't House MD where we get a 3-minute cold open with the guest
We don't do cold opens. I mean, cold opens are cool. That's what I liked about the Toronto arc, is that we had essentially cold opens every time. But it's really hard to do that when we're at home, unless it just naturally happens. Like maybe it did this episode, or it didn't, and no one knows what I'm talking about.
Or maybe it happened really naturally, and then in the middle of a natural conversation, someone was like, hey, we got to clap and time sync this.
Or your Star Wars Discovery, and the writers forgot they're doing a cold open.
You mean Star Trek Discovery?
Or Star Trek. I mean, honestly, I don't know if that is a Freudian slip of that says
There's
a lot.
TARDIS next to the Enterprise in a shot right now, okay?
Yeah,
everything is
ideal.
everything.
So
everything is everything. Up is down, left is right.
The credits roll at like 25 or 30 minutes into the episode. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a cold open, all right. I love
a 20-minute cold open in a 45-minute episode.
Miles, how do you feel about the objective fact that within the next 3 years in your favorite card game, you will be able to play Doctor Who versus Star Wars versus Star Trek?
If that is the case, I will cringe, recoil, criticize, and do it every day.
Versus Final Fantasy, which is also Star Wars.
Yeah. Is also, well, some of it is.
I mean, no. Almost all Final Fantasy is Star Wars. It's just like to lesser and greater extents, depending on which Final Fantasy.
Fair enough. Okay. I have not played enough to know, but I know that specifically 6 and 7, which are two of the most beloved ones, are very much Star Wars. Actually, 10 is pretty Star Wars too.
12 is like literally A New Hope, beat for beat.
12? Okay. 12 feels more like the prequels, honestly.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's a little bit dove.
And hey, you got freaking like Jar Jar in Vaughn and Penello and the characters that we don't really care about.
Except it's the prequels written by somebody who actually understands how to write politics really well.
Except for the fact that they made their main character have nothing to do with it at all.
Yeah, but that was not in any way his
marketing
fault. That was entirely Square Enix being like, the main character has to be a twink. And he did not have the Yoko Taro chutzpah to be like, okay, you know what? We're going to have an Xbox 360 version with the main character I actually want, and then a PS3 version with the twink that marketing demands that we have.
Go ahead, Monster Miles. What is your question?
Where is your Super Smash Bros. T-shirt today?
My Super Smash Bros. T-shirt today? You mean the one I don't own?
We've got Jeff's rocking Kirby today.
You got Pikachu. Do I actually own a shirt with a character from Smash on it?
Tristan.
I mean, I have a variety of different Zelda shirts.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're a 35-year-old white man. You have at least 5 shirts with a Triforce on them.
I have a Zelda shirt somewhere. But I think that might be it.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not one for a lot of themed shirts. You've seen most of them by this point.
Yeah.
I mean, these are usually pretty deep cuts, honestly. I only have this one because it makes my boys happy to see, like, oh, Daddy's wearing Pikachu. Yeah.
I mean, most of my stuff are deep cuts to the point where it's like, I like things that if somebody's like, hey, nice shirt, accessory, what have you, I'm like, because you know. I have yet to see somebody actually compliment me for my side bag, despite the fact... Oh, shoot, my side bag. Oh, no, there it is. Hold on.
Oh, that's a good one. That's pretty cool. But I mean...
I want someone to compliment me to my side bag, but nobody has yet. But that's the kind of like...
I'm actually... I mean, I guess I guess for me and Miles, because we've seen you with that side bag before, it never occurred to us to compliment you on it because it's so.
But that's the thing. It's like you guys get it.
It's a good bag. Yeah. We don't have to.
Yeah. Well, also, I usually when I see something like that, I look for the copyright, but that one looked so obviously official that I didn't bother. So,
do you really think that I would have bought it if it was a bootleg?
And I wouldn't have any problem with that either. So bootleg versus like something you got in Artist Alley, like the difference there is like a scale of commerciality, right? So like I don't really like.
But what about the bootlegs that are sold in an Artist Alley?
There are some, a lot, too many, and some of them do try and go a little too commercial or make a website that gets hundreds of thousands of clicks and uses paid media. And I'm like, man, can y'all pay the people
and then sends us emails asking if we can shout them out as a sponsorship in our videos.
Yeah, I just there were times when I was still doing events work, like 20 weekends a year, where I would have to go around with like the Funimation crew, and we'd like do the copyright like watching, and so like that's poisoned my brain so bad that like I was at Anime NYC recently, and I just was like nodding my head up and down. I'm like, I'm
very glad that when we were at Noith, we didn't have time to go in the dealer's hall.
Yeah.
Very glad.
You know, the funny thing is, Tristan, you probably have experience with this too, but like there was a period at like, I would say like the height of Crunchyroll nerd era and loot anime and loot crate being a thing where like we had to be so wary of sponsors coming in with bootleg crap. Like there was this one body pillow company that was just trying to sponsor every anime YouTuber. Oh
God, I remember them.
The most obviously fake knockoff body pillows in existence.
And
then
I remember that era because like I was one of the first people that got a sponsorship spot for Loot Anime when Loot Crate did that. And like you guys saw half the stuff because I had a bunch of it left over, and that's what we gave away at the North panels. But like, it was in and around there that we started to get like really weird stuff. And I remember the body pillows. I was like, this doesn't seem right.
There's that, and there was the otaku box, which was like
right.
Did you get a sample of the otaku box?
Because, not the otaku box. No.
Well, they reached out to us, and we went through.
I think they've reached out, but like I had Loot Anime, and I had what was the other one called? Omakase.
Omakase, yeah.
Oh, that's the snack box, right?
No. So Omakase was a different IP every month, so you only got it month by month. Like you could turn it off.
That's actually like a really good name for a loot box. And assuming that it's like actually
they only ran for like 6 months, unfortunately. But
but I mean the problem with that is you have to be a fan of the IP that they're sending you that month, or you don't care about. Like it's just a bad business model.
You didn't know what the IP was until you already signed up. That was
the nice thing about Loot Anime was it was like all around the theme, and usually you'd get like one or two things, and like even
the Mushishi tea mugs,
even my the most hated anime IP that I ever got out of a loot crate, which was 7 Deadly Sins. It's one of my favorite shirts. It's a really nice illustration from the manga that's just a nice little idyllic fantasy illustration, and it's a nice green shirt, and it's not too garish, and it's really comfy. That was like, I got some good shirts out of Loot Anime. But the otaku box, so they sent us a bunch of emails. We were finally like, okay, send us some samples. We'll try it out, right? Open the samples. The most satyr ass, obvious bootleg Albedo from Overlord and a couple other figurines just like free floating in this knockoff loot crate. It was bad.
I do have to say the unofficial apparel these days looks very, very good. Wish they weren't exploiting the creative works of other people as the only way that they could get anyone to pay attention to their kick-ass designs, which half the time are also still stolen from the Japanese side of things, which is really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I really like
people don't know what Pixiv is. And I'm like, though, people know. People go to Pixiv all the time. You have to log in and make an account to look at things half the time, but small price to pay to look at good art.
the number of rounds of approval I've had to do in the last like 6 weeks for a single 90-second clip is part of the reason why it can be a little challenging to get official goods that like look good, just because there's so much of a process with a lot of this stuff. But like, at least it does mean that the people who worked on the show are
getting paid,
benefiting usually.
We hope, yeah.
Well, I mean, usually not the people who worked on the anime making money from the merch, but like
it depends on who's on the production committee.
It's kind of like it's usually only art books and like official promo art for the anime where the studio gets a kickback, to my understanding.
More or less, yeah. When people are like, just buy the merch that supports the studio, it's like, well, less than 10% of the time the studio's on the production committee, so they don't make money from Blu-ray sales, they don't make additional money from home video or from like buying more of the manga.
It's like actually ridiculous. Like it feels like it should be illegal that they don't make money from Blu-ray sales. Like
because if you are a hired gun, not illegal, but yeah, I don't think it doesn't feel. It
doesn't feel right.
I just think like default, you should get at least a couple percentage royalty for having produced a show just legally. If it was made in your studio.
So the other problem is made in your studio doesn't mean what people think it means. So like the typical anime is not actually made in a studio. It's made by a collection of freelancers that sometimes associates under a certain name, but none of them would say that they're an employee of the studio, not even the director or the character designer. Well, sometimes the character designer and director more likely than others, but like what a studio is overblown in the perceptions of most anime fans. But at the same time,
unless they look at the credits and notice, hey, why is Studio Wit and well, not just Wit, but
why are there 15 studios
my name's
in
breaking,
the credits?
But like, why are all these studios that I recognize as like their own names show up in the credits everywhere? And it's because usually they had like one or two people from those studios work on it, and they needed to get credited appropriately.
The whole situation's frustrating. I have a funny aside before we get to our question of the week.
Which, by the way, we haven't got to our question of the week yet.
No, I want to share something embarrassing. Do you want to hear me explain the last story about the bootleg? The last time I bought a bootleg anime merchandise?
Sure. What was your last time buying bootleg anime merchandise?
So, what happens is I have a gigantic collection of merchandise from the anime Shirobako. Pretty good anime. It's an anime about making anime. And one time,
not just a pretty gigantic collection. Miles.
We've talked about this, Miles.
The officially largest collection of Shirobako merchandise in the entire world.
It's not official yet.
You know, we're one of these days, once we actually make money, we're going to pay to have a Guinness guy come out to your house and get a little
for the
thing
pod.
That you can frame it, put it on your wall.
That would actually be a pretty good bonus episode.
It would be great. Yeah. It would be great if we did all that. Your mother would be very proud.
So I was talking about this with a colleague at a bar, and he challenges me to, well, what don't you have? Like, he's trying to say, like, oh, do you have this or do you have this? Like, pulling stuff up on his phone. He's like, do you have the body pillows? And I'm like, well, I didn't feel the need to get the body pillows. And the guy's like, what kind of fan are you? I'm like, well, I didn't feel like it just never crossed my mind because I wasn't collecting it for the sake of collecting it, right? Like I was collecting it because I wanted individual pieces. But at that point, I realized, like that conversation made me realize, oh, actually, no, like I kind of do have this collection. It kind of does feel like a bit of a sign. So I've had a few. I'm at the bar. I'm being challenged by this guy. Like, why don't you have the body pillows, Miles? And so I buy the body pillows on eBay. Now, I should have known better. One, it was on eBay. That's a big red flag. Two, it arrives and I can't find the copyright anywhere. And my heart sinks. I'm like, oh no. And then I look up the price of the body pillows. I paid like a quarter what they should have cost. And I'm like, I've done terrible today. And so I've spent the last 10 years atoning for that sin. Bought the legal versions of the body pillow in Japan in a very awkward conversation we'll maybe tell for another story someday.
And with that, we're going to move, finally, after this exceedingly long intro, into our question of the week, because we always do a question of the week at the start of every episode. This week's question comes to us from Hunter in Dublin via email. Hunter asks us, what is our favorite anime style opening that is not from an anime? Apparently some context is that their favorite is WBX Hard-Boiled Extreme from Kamen Rider W.
I feel like we talked about this a little bit in the Bakano episode.
Yes, because that would be my answer.
Because Snatch is gonna...
Snatch.
It's Snatch.
But that's
Snatch,
the thing, though. Could we count that? Because Snatch came first.
Yeah. No, technically an
And then
anime,
the anime
has a
copied
Snatch
Snatch.
style opening.
Yeah.
One, that is very much an anime style opening. Let's be real. Good Ritchie was watching some Japanese cartoons.
Guy Ritchie definitely had seen some Lupin. Definitely seen some... did some good stuff. But yeah, okay, that's a good answer. I have a better answer. I have the objectively best answer, which is the opening of Densha Otoko.
I don't actually know the opening for Densha Otoko.
It's Daikon 4.
Oh.
Okay, so that's objectively the best. That's not fair.
I'm sorry, I just have better answers than you.
I mean, the best one I can think of that's not anything that we mentioned, it's hard because it's not like true anime style opening, but it's the opening for Unofficial Sentai Akiba Ranger, because it's a cross between being a parody of a Super Sentai opening while also like trying to show off that, no, this isn't a real Sentai. Please don't assume that we're a real Sentai. We have unofficial in the name for a reason. This is not a real Sentai. We want to be a real Sentai. We're still being made by Toei for some reason. Also, we totally need to do Akiba Ranger as a side quest. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that at one point in time in the podcast. We need to do Akiba Ranger as a side quest.
Akiba Ranger is one of like two tokusatsu series that my friend Jono, who like has watched all the Kamen Riders and a lot of Super Sentai, will not shut up about how I have to watch it. It's that and
you don't even need to have seen a lot of Kamen Rider or Sentai to appreciate it. You could show it to anybody that just has like the backing of they watched Power Rangers as a kid. That's good enough.
Yeah,
you're good.
And the other one that I've heard I need to watch is Yoshiki the Hero. I believe that's the name.
I haven't watched it myself, but yeah, no, I've heard the same rumblings about it as you,
which is like it's a goofy parody of Dragon Quest with like party of idiots going on an adventure to save the world. I really want to get. We should.
Is that the one? Is that the one where the dagger licking clip comes from?
Might be. I don't know. We really need like a separate podcast where we just get around to all the tokusatsu that we need to and have not watched.
Considering how hard it is to find time to even watch the anime for this podcast, we'll have to back burner that long term.
I mean, but like there is the ultimate question of, can our answer to what is the greatest anime be objectively correct if we are not fluent in Kamen Rider, Ultraman, a little bit of Sentai, and Godzilla?
That's like saying that there's such a wealth of influences that go into anime that just because a lot of the more prolific or popular anime creators are into those things, I don't know if it's necessarily the DNA is quite as much of a crossover. Like, I don't think you need to watch... No, I take that back. You do need to watch Kamen Rider to be able to say the definitive anime list. Yeah. Never mind. You're right. Yeah, we should probably do that. Never mind.
Take it all back.
Starting a new podcast, The Quest for the Rest.
The Hi Puffy Amiyumi show. I was just watching the opening this weekend because it came up in conversation. That's a pretty good anime style opening. I mean... The inspiration's a little more obvious too. Also,
like Hi Puffy Amiyumi is like borderline proto. Like you could look at that as proto panty and stocking. Like it is like English creatives, but like it ends up at a very similar place to panty and stocking minus the offensive parts. Just from the opposite angle. Like it's borderline anime.
Sure.
But Teen Titans opening by
Teen Titans,
Puffy Amiyumi.
The original Teen Titans, not this Go. Blech. I mean, I get that Teen Titans Go has its fans. Good for you.
Hey, you know what? Like, of two minds, because on the one hand, I'm like, I miss the Teen Titans of my childhood. I really wish it got a more definitive ending. But at the same time,
I wish it got an ending.
I mean, they've got the movie. The movie's pretty good. Yeah, it's still not a real ending. It doesn't tie things off. I don't know. I think a lot of the hate for Teen Titans Go is overblown, and I think overall it's a pretty good cartoon for kids.
I'll take your word.
With some, one of the 200th episode special, they did this whole thing where they were like putting on an award show for themselves for having the longest running animated DC Universe thing of all time, where they got all of the other DC Universe members in the audience and just mercilessly made fun of them for having Justice League and all of their other stuff canceled. And Superman sends them to a stop motion animation dimension to get canceled for having too expensive a production to keep going on Cartoon Network. Like, there's some really good high concept episodes of Teen Titans Go. It can be a brilliant comedy. It can also be crap. It's Family Guy for kids. You know, it has the same highs and lows of Family Guy.
I had about 30 episodes of the Justice League, the like 60s one that I had taped, and like excised the commercials very perfectly as a small town.
You mean Super Friends?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I don't.
That's very. Yeah. They're different groups. There's the Super Friends. There's the Justice Society of America, the Justice Gang now, which I'm really excited for more Justice Gang content, and then the Justice League, which are all legally distinct entities.
Whichever one came out in the 60s and had the bad guys in the swamp helmet thing.
Super Friends. It's the one with the transforming twins who've never been in anything else.
That's not true.
Have they?
Yeah, they had their own show.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I have some of that on, like, I could find those videotapes if they haven't rotted to hell as well.
They've probably rotted to hell, yeah.
I watched that, and then I'm like, why would I want to watch about the kids, the sidekicks? This sucks. So I never gave, what's it called, a chance when I was a kid.
You never watched the OG Teen Titans?
Not once, no.
Wow.
I mean, I've seen clips of Teen Titans Go, and it seems cool. So that's why, like, I'm not offended by it, because, like, I have no...
All right, well, we got a new potential side quest in the future. Add that to the list of things to watch.
I have something else on the point of openings.
Okay, yeah. What was your other thing on the point of openings?
Do you guys remember like 4 years ago when Netflix remade Cowboy Bebop and then just remade the opening beat for beat, but like slightly worse?
Yeah.
Not slightly worse, substantially worse.
How is that a favorite anime
Isn't that so funny? Isn't that so hilarious that happened? And they're like, we're going to show respect by making John Cho run poorly.
And completely taking out the meaning of the original opening. And
not even having Ed in it. So it's not going to be a beat for beat thing anyway.
Yeah, because
no freeform, no jazz.
Ed. What?
No jazz to its soul.
Yeah. I mean, that's just that is the perfect opening for that show.
Yeah. It does pretty accurately reflect it.
It would have been the perfect opening for the show if you could see the pain in all the actors' eyes a little bit better.
Yeah. You know, it's not an anime style opening at all, but while we're on the subject of Netflix, I just want to put out there, BoJack Horseman has one of the greatest openings of all time. Just like, I mean, it starts good, right? The first season's good, but the way it evolves season to season is just perfect.
On that note, Mad Men is one of my favorite openings. And every time I watch it, I'm like, man, what I wouldn't kill for Geoff to do a What's an OP about Mad Men's opening.
I'd have to watch Mad Men. I should really watch Mad Men.
Am I misremembering, Miles? Or isn't the opening for Great Pretender a riff on Mad Men?
It is very clearly inspired. A riff on... I mean, like... Everything is a riff on Mad Men from like the 15 years following it. Like, like the Westworld opening is just the Mad Men opening, but worse, and trying to be really pseudo-intellectual about it. House of Cards, literally every opening sequence from like Prestige TV after 2007 just wishes they had John Hamm falling off a building.
Yeah. Yeah. if I'm thinking about it, that's also itself a callback to the openings of like to movie openings from the
Oh yeah.
no, from
for sure.
from the 1960s and 50s.
There's a guy whose name is intrinsically tied to this, whose name I'm absolutely forgetting right now. Crap. Oh well.
A very famous animator did the Pink Panther intro.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Did
but
the
yeah.
Pink Panther intro. I don't know if he did Catch Me If You Can as the most recent one, but they were at least heavily inspired by his work.
Yeah. Man.
A lot of the James Bond ones too.
Yes. Well, the old James Bond ones before.
This is
Connery.
just. I'm just thinking about like how good movie credit sequence used to be. And I'm
you mean
feeling
back when they actually had credits to show before
In
they
opening?
just dumped them
Yeah.
all at the end? Yeah. That's the thing that I'm noticing. I'm noticing now when it comes to like watching even old animated stuff, like old Disney stuff, where it's just like, yeah, no, for many, many decades, they put the whole credits as an animated sequence at
And
the
you get
start of the movie.
Overtune and like 2 different preludes also just going in there just to kind of like
It's
whet
great.
the appetite.
One
I'm-
of my girls, one of their favorite songs right now is the opening overture to 101 Dalmatians, and that song slaps so good. I don't care that it's like 70 or 80 years old at this point. It's still good.
I mean, 101 Dalmatians is like low key one of the better
Anime.
Disney movies, I think. Did you?
It's
You
one of my
said it's an anime. I guess Cruella de Vil's a pretty good
No,
waifu.
I'm not. It's not aesthetically or emotionally
Yeah.
anime. It's just good shit.
It
It's
is
real
good
good
shit. Yeah, man. Like a lot of Disney fans kind of, or like old school Disney fans kind of dunk on it because it's got the
Reused?
xerography style
Oh, yeah.
of animation. It I think it was the first Disney one to do that. It's either that or Aristocats. And it feels cheaper, but I really
care.
love the sketchy look that they achieved with that.
Yeah.
I loved what they were able to do with that.
Yeah,
Like, again, that intro for 101 Dalmatians is like a great intro that showcases both the style and kind of the theming of everything moving forward. And I loved it.
It's a good movie, good looking movie. But
It's like my favorite
Yeah.
pre 80s Disney film is that one.
yeah. I really just in general miss movies having like real
Credits
opening
in the
credits
opening,
to suck you into the world, right?
Mm.
You know, like and like to or not the world, but to like get you in the mood to immerse yourself in a movie. It's
Jeff, that's what the Nicole Kidman ad is for.
like, right. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
30 minutes of trailers with a boom.
One thing I'm gonna say, living in Japan, the pre-roll trailers for movies are so much better. You know the like don't film the screen thing that we have here. You know, like all the one that they have in the front of like Japanese movies in at least Toei cinemas. It's a full tokusatsu thing of like. This guy with a camera for a head and like a bunch of cops chasing him, and they do this whole like park. It's so fun.
I mean, Japan was like that a lot. I can't remember where it was. I think it was while I was about to fall asleep waiting to get through customs, where there was like TVs displaying, hey, here's what you should do as like helpful hints for stupid tourists that don't know any better. And there was like, here's tokusatsu tokusatsu ripoffs showing you how to properly use the subway in Japan. And I'm like, this is so cool. I just love this. This is great.
Yeah.
There was a point where I really wanted the merch from those opening credits, Jeff.
Oh,
Because they have made
Camerahead
figures
guy?
of like the camerahead guy and all that.
Good. Good.
But like then it got too expensive and then I just stopped wanting more figures. I just have too many figures now. So something's got to be the greatest thing of all time. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Can't relate. But
Yeah, I eventually stopped my own obsession with Nendroids. I'm out of it now, thankfully. My wallet thanks me.
Are you though?
I might get a like a one a year as a special birthday present to myself.
I saw the Freerin one at the store yesterday, and I'm like, you wouldn't want a little fern?
I've got a bunch of Nendoroids still in boxes because like
it's hard.
I kept collecting them, and then I was like, I don't have places for all of these anymore.
I mean, yeah, like I had back at my old studio, like I bought like this case to actually display them over my desk and everything for. I was very proud of it. I still have the case. It's there. You can kind of see the top of it. I don't have a place to hang it up, but it could go on a wall, and it's like a little glass case that you can put things in, and I had like 10 Nendroids in the thing, and I can't do that anymore.
I still have infinitely more respect for Nendo collectors than Funko Pop collectors.
Oh, that's not even in comparison, man. Yeah. One is built with love.
They're better quality, and like Funko Pop is more of a shotgun. Let's get everything and see what sticks. Nendroid at least is a little bit more curated.
Good Smile's quality control has dropped a little bit
recently. Like I haven't picked up anything. Like again, I haven't bought a Nendo in like a couple of years. So, but
yeah, the last few that I've bought, like they just don't pose as well, and there's like a few. There's been more issues with the bespoke parts for each set. I feel like
that's
because they're pumping out so many these days, right?
Have you guys watched that documentary that Crunchyroll put together on?
Yeah, when it came out, that was a very good video.
I haven't seen it.
Dude, it is honestly such a good documentary. Like, apparently they still show it at like internal meetings for new hires.
At Good Smile?
At Good Smile. But like, it like makes you feel like, wow, everyone at this company really cares about these figures. And like, there's a lot of love that goes into it. And I know that's probably the case in other places.
Maybe I've just had a bad experience, or I just got like a couple bad ones or something also like that.
5 years old now, so maybe they did.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe.
I mean,
hey, at least it is. Oh, it's got good viewership now. I remember for a long time it like barely got any views, but it's sitting at like 1.3 million views now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's a great video.
Good video. How is a Nendroid made for people that are interested?
How is a Nendoroid made?
How is a Nendroid made?
I'll go check that out. I still love my Nendos. I just,
Yeah, I do. I want a place to display them. The best I got is on my Cambridge set. I got like on the shelf, I have the boxes. That's it. Because like when we packed up the old studio, I put them back in their boxes, and then I just haven't taken them out again. So the boxes are on the shelf. But
I don't have any on my set right now, and we have a lot.
You could fix that. Yeah,
I could.
You can even put more shelving in if you really want to.
I could literally go back. I mean, where?
You could put some floating shelves right next to your bookcase. Yeah.
There? Yeah. I mean, they'd be really tiny.
It wouldn't be on camera either.
Yeah.
Depending on the shot.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's not just for camera. It's also for you.
Yeah, for my personal enjoyment. Like, I don't feel like I have too little storage in here right now. I feel like I've got a good amount of storage, but I guess I could have more shelves. I don't know.
Like 2 years ago,
Moral of the story: you could always have more shelves.
Like 2 years ago, I was in between work. I was out of work, and I saw a friend say, "Oh, can someone help with the Good Smile booth at a con?" And I'm like, "I've been a professional booth babe. You got it." And man, every one of those pop-up parades that I was giving away in Nendos, I'm like, I want this. Like
the pop-up parades are really good. Like,
let me put it this way: I lost money working that week.
Did you ask to be paid in figures? I would have.
That would have been more efficient. I should have done that.
Yeah.
Can I get paid in product?
Yeah, you probably would have at least come out like revenue neutral then.
Flight and hotel, but yeah, theoretically.
I mean, pop-up parades are really good. I will give them that. Like definitely a higher grade than most prize figures.
Yeah.
So we have a side quest this week that I think is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
We've been having this on our short list of kill quests since episode 1.
Since episode 0, actually, I think.
Yeah. But we needed to have you all understand where we're coming from when we're talking about anime before we got to this one, because I think this one is going to upset one or two of you all.
As all good kill quests do.
Quest for the best. Well, our podcast is about finding the best anime, which could mean the objective best, but really what it means is our 3 like aggregated favorites when it comes to anime.
Because our opinions are the best.
Yeah, our opinions are the best. Our tastes are so good that the quest for the best means, what do we like?
No sarcasm in our words at all.
We are kind of riding the favorite versus best line a little, but which one of those words is in our title? You know, so this is all to say.
Quest for the best just sounds better than Quest for the favorite.
But I mean, I do also think we want to find the best to a certain extent. You know,
our
like
best.
The best. See, this is what I mean about writing the line. Like, I do, like, we're not considering the context or history. We're considering how good, right?
How good is it still?
How good is it?
How good?
Yeah.
How good? That is the question. How good?
How good? And so today's Kill Quest, where we say, hey, we're not going to even bother giving this guy an episode because he's so far away from the list, is My Hero Academia, an anime that has topped many a top 10, 25, 50, 100 lists of outlets, big and small, of people notable and less known, but still notable. This is a very popular, beloved anime. And for the 2010s, it is like one of the 3 to 5 anime that is the most important, the biggest for bringing in fans, especially overseas in English-speaking territories and Spanish-speaking territories. This is such an important anime. Why are we killing it, boys?
That's a very good question.
It is a good question.
How long have we been recording? About 45 minutes or so ago, we were like, hey, you still good to Kill Quest Hiroaka? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't watched it in like 5 years. And then Chloe's like, there's probably a reason for that. And I'm like, yep, probably a reason for that. Because I'm not caught up on Hiroaka at all. I remember watching like the initial seasons. Like when season 1 came out, I loved the thing. I absolutely loved it. It was a show that I was just like, I'm not going to read the manga because I love it so much. I will read the manga once I know there's not going to be any more anime, because we were still at the period, just season 1 had come out. We didn't know how much further it was going to go. We didn't know how big it was going to get, how many episodes that Bones was going to eventually animate. I didn't know if they were going to pull a freaking FMA 2003 or what have you on that stuff. I didn't know. I knew nothing of that, and I was like, I will get to the manga eventually. And then the anime kept going, and then at some point I was like, I'm okay. I don't feel the need to keep up with this. I'll get to it eventually, and then I just never did.
Eventually never came.
Eventually never came.
Did you ever try out later seasons?
Might never will. Pardon?
Did you ever try out later seasons?
Haven't felt the need, desire, motivation. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to a lot of anime that I watch, once we get past a certain point in like age, I need a reason to go and watch it. Usually it's because it's like there was something interesting about it to me that I was curious about and I wanted to see. Or like another good reason of why we have this podcast, and I love that we have this podcast, is so that I can watch a thing so then we can talk and discuss it on a call or in a podcast format. But when it came to Hiroaka, it's like, okay, well, I watched the initial seasons. There's not much more that I was like curious about. Like, I wasn't really curious about like what happened next or what was going on, because I'm like, it's shonen. I'm sure it's enjoyable, and I'm sure I would enjoy my time doing it. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, well, there's a certain level of formula to shonen shows, and I'm okay. I almost would rather watch a different shonen show that is just as formulaic, but at least has some new things that I haven't seen yet. There's plenty of shonen I haven't watched. We've already talked about how I haven't seen like anything at all of Naruto, which apparently I need to fix.
Naruto? I mean,
wasn't it here that you guys told me that I needed to watch like the first arc of Naruto at the very least?
Oh yeah, the first arc. Yeah.
So,
like if you haven't seen, you know, the up through up through the exams, I'd say.
So 70 episodes?
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's peak Naruto. That's all peak Naruto.
Oh, it sure is.
So then it's the question of should I go? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you could also just read the manga, though. I don't think that there's. No, you miss out on the music. You miss out on a lot of really good sakuga. But like, yeah, yeah, you should probably just watch the first 70 episodes or so of Naruto.
Just
But that's
the
kind
first
of the
20.
thing. So it's like, should I go to wherever I can't remember if I stopped somewhere in season 3 of Hiroaka or if I went further beyond that. It's somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly where I fell off.
Yeah.
But it's like, should I go back or should I go and watch the first 70 episodes of Naruto? I don't know.
Or literally any One Piece.
Or literally any One Piece. Or maybe I should go and catch up on
Hunter.
Demon Slayer. Or no, I finished Hunter x Hunter. Well, I mean, I never finished the original adaptation of Hunter x Hunter, but I finished Hunter x Hunter 2011.
Have you read the manga?
No, not beyond what 2011 covers.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
it's real good right now.
I'll get to it. Maybe when it ends, because I hate the fact that it's called hiatus. The fact that that's what it was called. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna wait. Because I don't like hanging out like that. I'm doing that enough with other shows and manga that I like. I don't want to add more to that.
Well, Togashi's been banking a lot of chapters, so I think we might at least get like a good stretch. But also Hunter x Hunter is so good that even though I hate having to wait on the cliffhanger, whenever new stuff drops now that I'm into, like I wasn't into it, and then I got into it and I caught all the way up, and then there was a content drop and I caught all the way up, and I need more of it because he's such a good writer. But like Hunter x Hunter's an exception to the jump rule. So I'm coming at Hiroaka from the perspective of somebody who really likes shonen, who's seen most of at least the jump stuff, like it's very difficult to have seen most shonen, but
because they're super long running and hundreds of thousands of episodes at this point, if you're adding multiple shows.
There's a lot of super long running ones, and a lot of them are not super good. Like, for example, Fairy Tail. And like, to be clear, Hiroaka is very good. Like, I don't think it's unreasonable for other people to put Hiroaka in their top 100.
Yeah.
I just think
I would not judge a list harshly for having it there.
It's very good. Like,
I'm now trying to remember if we judged the IGN list very harshly for having it in its top 25.
No, we said that makes sense because it does. Like, and that's the thing. It's fine. I think it peaked with season 2.
I kind of, so
in which case I've seen all the good shit.
So here's the thing, right? My experience with it was I stopped at, I think, a similar place. No, I stopped season 4. I believe if season 4 is Overhaul, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, that was in season 3. Then I've watched more than I thought.
No, I think season 4 is Overhaul because season 3 is
all the Endeavor stuff. Okay, I've seen all that. Yeah, season 3 is Overhaul.
Overhaul. Okay. Yeah. No, season 3 can't be Overhaul because season 3 is everything with All for One and and All Might.
The All Might backstory and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and All Might fighting All for One. So it's got to be. Yeah, it's season 4. It's season 4 for sure. Season 4 is where I stopped, which is the Mafia hideout raid arc and the school festival arc. And the thing is, the reason I stopped there wasn't due to necessarily being bored with the content itself, but because I liked Hiroaka so much, I read ahead in the manga, right? I was caught up on the manga at the point that came out. Yeah. And then I went back and I tried to watch it again. And the Overhaul arc sucks. I know a lot of people really like it, but on a second viewing, it just kind of sucks. It drags out so long. It's the most generic shonen I think Hiroaka gets, in that it's just the Sasuke retrieval arc. It's literally just, I'll fight this guy, you go ahead. I'll fight this guy, you go ahead. I'll fight this guy, you go ahead. Over and over, like too many fights, too many guys. You're in. Okay, yeah. Okay, but
no, I say that, but I stopped somewhere during season 4. Yeah,
and
you're in, or you would have been if you made it that far.
If I cared a little bit more. Yeah,
it was so much of a slog to get through the second time that even though like I'm weird about this, I genuinely enjoy the school festival arc because it's like lower key. more comedy oriented, just fighting with a low stakes villain who the idea is the bad guy's a nuisance YouTuber who's using his superpowers to just like make viral videos of him being a nuisance. It's clearly commentating on the whole Logan Paul thing that happened around then. And it's like, it's a good arc, but like I got through that and I was caught up to wherever they were when season 4 started in the Metahuman Liberation Front arc, which is this new arc where they introduce a new group of villains who, again, I think they kind of suck. But like, from what I understand from Hiroaka memes and Hiroaka fans, stopping there is the guy digging in the mine meme where he like gets right up to the thing of gems and walks away.
And he stops. Yeah.
From what I understand, that is where I stopped. And like, maybe if I watch more of it, I'm going to be like, oh, this is peak. This does belong on the list. But like, I also feel like I've watched enough Hiroaka to know Horikoshi's game and to know that like he makes a really good shonen. I think he's better at it than Kishimoto. I think it's a better overall shonen structurally in terms of actually paying off things it sets up and like having a game plan for the story than Naruto. But it's only a little bit better than Naruto, and I wouldn't put it in the same like echelon as Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh no, absolutely not.
One Piece, where it's like
Sexy Commando,
Yu-Gi-Oh, greatest anime of all time material. JoJo, yes, JoJo. Like there is.
I should go and watch more JoJo.
It's
I'm not really caught up on JoJo.
You really should.
I could do that instead of watching Hiroaka.
Like the thing is, yeah, I like Hiroaka a lot, right? Like I like it as just as a fun little shonen romp, and it's important. It's undeniably important because it is one of the standard bearers for the modern seasonal approach to shonen adaptation.
And it's important in terms of bringing anime to this place where it's become so mainstream and so popular. Like My Hero Academia was such a major element of that in in the
2010s,
which makes perfect sense because it's Marvel Naruto, right?
Well, so you say that, but the first season wasn't as popular. I want to really give credit to Victoria for like basically single-handedly popularizing it with season 2.
I mean, that is like Victoria absolutely does deserve credit. The Crunchyroll marketing team deserves credit, but also Funimation deserves anti-credit because like
the dub was so good, guys.
No, the dub is good. I'm not saying the dub isn't good. I'm saying Funimation in the Funimation Now era was so bad at marketing everything.
Anything.
Hiroaka was just dead in the water because it ended up on Funimation.
Which is hilarious because even before it aired, and it was just like pre-promotions and everything, almost everybody looked at that and been like, this is Funimation's next Golden Goose, following like Full Metal Alchemist, following Dragon Ball. It's like, no, this is Funimation's next Golden Goose. And they like killed it immediately.
It did okay. It's not like it was like a failure. It just wasn't, the biggest anime in the world, which it should have been from the first season, to be clear.
It should have. Yeah. Like I do think the first season's a little weak in terms of like pacing.
It gets better.
But yeah, like I think, season 2 is really good. It's hard to debate season 2. I wouldn't say it peaks with season 2 because season 3 has that whole big fight with All Might and All for One and lots of good.
That one individual fight was really cool, but I also at that point cared a lot less about All Might than I did about like the kids.
Deku. Yeah.
And the other problem with this is that, like so many other things, the adults are more interesting in the story. Like they get the cool stuff to do, which kind of undermines a bit of like what it's all about.
The point of it.
I mean, that is, from what I understand, that becomes less of an issue in the later seasons that I haven't gotten to yet.
When Endeavor becomes the only character with an arc in the whole story.
I mean, we don't know this because I'm probably gonna catch up on it and make a whole video for when the final season airs. But I like generally what you said about the adults being more interesting is part of why I think Vigilantes is just overall better than the mainline Hiroaka series. Because like when it was running, it actually there wasn't a lot of crossover, but it actually tied into Eraserhead's whole arc in the anime and it gave him like important backstory that affects it really affects that part of the manga. And like I guess I must have read a little further, but I forget exactly where I stopped.
No, so that's actually part of the problem, right? Like I had to like double check and I'm like, oh, I'm getting things out of order. I'm getting things wrong. It's because it didn't actually stick with me all that much. And like, I really liked it as I watched it. I enjoyed myself. But when I have to think of what is one of the best anime of all time, I don't even want to recommend this to people because I don't think it like stays as strong, even though the production quality sure does. I just don't find it that interesting compared to other things people could be watching. It is great. I think it's very accessible. It was perfect for the time and the place for a lot of people in a lot of ways. I just don't think it's all that compelling of a anime in the scheme of every anime that has ever existed or ever will exist.
Yeah,
that's
like
all.
I think for me it's probably still top 200, but like
sure.
It's
if our list goes
good.
That big.
But it's not, it's not like maybe 250. I'm like,
man, I'd struggle putting in top 100 of the decade.
Really?
Yeah.
The decade in which it came out, yeah.
For the 2010s?
Yeah.
I
definitely put it in honorable mentions for my decade video, alongside a lot of other really good stuff.
But that was just we just did top 10s for the decade, which is
I did a Crunchyroll. We did a top 100 for the decade.
I think mine was a top 25.
It was in the top 25. Yeah, I know, but like not because of me.
But I mean,
no, yeah,
I was one of 8 judges for that. and yeah, like as our producer is encouraging us, this would be below anything we've talked about for the list so far.
Yes,
I think
so. Below Pompo.
Yeah, I think
Cleopatra.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, put it above Pompo?
That bank scene, man.
Yeah, I like structure.
Bank scene.
I'd put it about in the same area as Pompo, of definitely not on the list.
Have you read the epilogue for My Hero Academia? Because I've read that. I haven't gone back and I've spoiled myself because I just don't care.
I've seen. I mean, I've had stuff of it spoiled for me because it's impossible to avoid the put the fries in the bag Deku memes and all that stuff.
I didn't read. I stopped reading the Harry Potter books when I was like 11, and then I read just the epilogue, and I'm like, it gave me that same sensation of like, I'm so glad I did not spend my time getting invested in these characters.
Is it that bad? Is it that like?
I think it's worse.
Everybody got married and had kids that are exact amalgamations of the two people who had them and named after important characters who died.
Except for Deku.
I just...
In short, the ending makes you feel a kind of way you don't like feeling at the end of something that was a big part of your life, as far as I'm concerned.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean... Well,
you're doing a very bad job of trying to convince me, not that you are, of actually going and finishing Hiroaka.
See, I can't judge it, and I will, I'm gonna watch the whole thing and I'll report back because, there are people who are like it's absolutely peak for the last couple arcs, and
that is maybe like me saying, you know what you should do if you haven't, you should watch like the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones because they're absolutely peak. Until they're not.
I would absolutely recommend that to people.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can just
thing,
go
though,
read the books.
It's hard.
Well, can you? They don't exist.
You can read the books until you can't anymore, and that's just as bad.
I mean, Martin will finish them eventually. Probably.
He's going to die first. He's going to die first.
He would take his own life before he publishes that fifth book. Let alone the 6th.
Maybe we'll get the 5th. We're not getting a 6th. And
no, there's 5 books already.
Okay, then
or
whatever.
It's the other way around.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whichever number I was jumping off miles for that. What's going to end up happening is that he's going to die, and then whichever descendant or relative or whoever is bequeathed the rights to Song of Ice and Fire, they're going to hand it to somebody else, and they're going to
they'll get Brandon Sanderson to write it.
No, they will get anyone but him, who has been on the record many times very recently saying, I would never in a million years
try to finish Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like the polar opposite of Brandon Sanderson's writing style and his like approach to fantasy. But
I wouldn't really give it to anyone. But I mean, I've rarely seen that sort of thing work out before. I think the closest that I've ever read was So Long and Thanks for All the Fitch, which was the post Douglas Adams Hitchhiker book. And I mean, like, it's okay. It's a good book, but it's very hard to compare it to Douglas Adams.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's a good book, but it's hard to say this absolutely 100% deserves to be on your shelf next to
the trilogy of 5.
Actual Douglas Adams. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's kind of what I assume is going to happen.
Yeah, no, we're kind of getting
in the weeds.
Really in the weeds, but I feel like I should finish it before definitively like saying let's kill this off.
I'm just looking for the motivation to actually finish it, and I don't have it. Besides just, hey, you should finish it for the sake of, because it's unfinished. And I'm like, if I had that mentality, there are hundreds of shows that I should be finishing right now. And I'm not part of them.
I mean, I'll be transparent about this. I'm thinking I should finish it because, like,
money.
A review of Hiroaka in the final season, like a full retrospective, is going to be
interesting to people who care about you.
Interesting, yeah. Because I like
then
Hiroaka.
Then you should convince me to pull up that. I think it's like 20 pages right now of a Attack on Titan retrospective that I meant to have completed in time for the final season, part 3. The real ending this time, and then just kind of like, nah. I mean, it doesn't help that the last couple of big ass retrospectives I didn't turn out that well, but still,
they turned out well.
They turned out okay.
The issue.
They were good videos.
I liked them.
Yeah,
for the amount of time spent on them, they were. They were. Okay.
You could just do what other YouTubers do and not care about like having a thoughtful opinion and just kind of put stuff out on page, then say it into a microphone and film yourself.
At that point, I'd be like, hey, ChatGPT, write me a script. Why would I do that?
It's.
I'm sure somebody else has already done that.
Geoff, here, let me ask you this question. If you did not have this YouTube channel, would you ever care enough to spend more time with these characters?
I mean, like, Hiroaka, I did really love Hiroaka.
That's not what I know. I think we all earnestly loved it at some point.
You saw how much, I mean, you know how many individual Hiroaka videos I have on my channel, right?
Yeah, gotta get that bag, man. It was a big deal.
No, it wasn't a get that bag thing.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, so we all earnestly loved it. I think you in particular.
Yeah, right? No, it was one of my favorites for a really long time, but I just like
it made your top 10. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if we were doing this even 5 years ago, I think, or like 3. No, not 3, but
5,
like
maybe.
pre-COVID, I probably would have been like, it should be somewhere in there. But like now I've read Hunter x Hunter. I have like a much deeper base of knowledge of shonen than I had when I was just a big Hiroaka fanboy. I'm just
your horizons have been broadened.
Like it's not in my top 10 Shonen Jump series even, right? Like it's no Chainsaw Man, it's no Don to Don, it's no JJK, it's no
Sexy Commando.
Hunter x Hunter, no Sexy Commando, no Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I like it more than Demon Slayer. I like it more than Naruto. I don't like it more than Bleach. Definitely not One Piece. Definitely not Dragon Ball. Definitely not Saint Seiya. There's just like so many
other things
better. Like, I mean, feels weird to say better, but like there's so many shonen things that resonate with me more, and I would also say are tighter because Hiroaka, it's real loose in the middle there. the part where we all dropped it is real. It's some real sloppy stuff.
I mean, I feel like even at the beginning, it doesn't know who it is or what it is all that much. And so, like,
I mean, season 1 reminds me a lot, and I know it probably reminds me a lot because they ripped off of it heavily. But it, like, I could put season 1 of Hiroaka and like early Ruby side by side, and they feel like the same show.
That's
like, not production value wise. Obviously, Bones at the time that they made season 1 of Hiroaka was miles ahead of Rooster Teeth at the same junction. But from a narrative perspective, I do feel like very similar.
I do feel like Horikoshi, like,
loves Ruby.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Horikoshi, like, world building was like a third, maybe fourth thought for him behind, like, I want to do a cool superhero story, right?
I want to draw a giant woman and have excuses for that.
Yeah, oh man.
Very grateful for that, by the way. Mount Lady is fantastic.
He also wanted to draw an invisible girl.
Mount Lady, excuses for Midnight. I mean, the thing is, it's really the fandom that looted the Invisible Girl. He was... I mean,
the fandom. Is the fandom in the room with us, Geoff?
He did write the fact that she's naked all the time into the story. And he did write Mineta. But he also wrote that scene...
Mineta's a self-insert.
He also wrote that scene where all of the girls capture Mineta, tie him up, and Clockwork Orange him to stop being such a goddamn pervert. And it actually fixes his character after that point, which is a really good moment in Hiroaka storytelling. Like, they literally just, like, tie him up in the living room and, like, tape his eyeballs open.
Well, at least it was the living room. For half a second there, I thought it was going to be in the change room.
No, it's the dorm living room. Which, like, you know, I like Hiroaka a lot. You know, I'm not, like...
As with most of our kill quests, we like it.
Well, I mean, not just I like it a lot. It was one of my favorite anime for a good chunk of time there, where, like, I always wanted to talk about the OPs. I always wanted to talk about the fights. And yeah, part of that was, like, those videos made money. But
no, I was giving you a hard time. No, you were being a passionate fan. It was great to see. You could tell.
And like the main reason I stopped was just because copyright on the fight videos got so brutal.
I bet.
You know, people talk a lot about censorship in anime, and I don't think there's any anime I can think of that has been more damaged in my experience by censorship in the last, like, 20 years than Hiroaka needing to be not epileptic for Japanese TV standards. Because I get taken out of it every time they, like, put,
they dim the screen?
They dim the screen like 28 times an episode, and it looks so bad every time, and it's just like, oh my god.
That's why you buy the Blu-ray.
Do they sell them anymore? Early seasons, sure, but, like, would new seasons come out and get a Blu-ray?
For Hiroaka, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It'll take them longer than it should, but yeah.
But yeah, no, like, Crunchyroll will absolutely sell a complete series box set as soon as it's done. I mean, not as soon as it's done, but, like, a year or two after it's done, because it's Funimation people running the show now, and timeliness of releasing stuff just isn't
has always been terrible.
Funimation management is just used to being able to dictate the timeline with which the anime community cares about stuff. And it's just, we're so far past that. You know, like,
I remember I lived during the eras where you would watch a fan sub of a thing, find out that Funimation grabbed it and been like, okay, cool. I'm glad that everybody else that I know will find out what this thing is in a year and a half from now.
Yeah. No, that
I lived that time.
Well, I mean, the Oron announcement, I remember that being, like, the biggest news in the community, right? But that's because, like, I had already watched all of Oron. Like, I had already written Oron fan fiction. Like, I had already, like, been, like, caught up with the manga. Like, I was like, oh, and then they do all this stuff, and then they did the bigots. Like, you can't actually get away with saying, hey, we've acquired this title, and get people excited about it when, like, the actors come on stage in, like, costumes, or I think they did something like that. unless people have
Wouldn't
already
spread
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
There was already a pre-existing fandom.
But like in those days, they did also help stuff blow up to a certain extent. Yeah, you know, like
Cat Planet Cuties.
Yeah, but they they absolutely rode the wave as much as they could for as much as they could get away with.
To you guys and the people watching this, I would still recommend Hiroaka to people wanting a good shonen romp before I would recommend a lot of other things. You know, including the entirety of Naruto, but not the first 70 episodes of Naruto. Like that's pretty much exactly where it is. It fits between Shippuden and peak Naruto for me.
Okay.
So
what's the question you're positing?
What I would say, I would recommend it, but not as like a get out there and get on this immediately thing. Hiroaka Vigilantes, though, if you like Spider-Man and street level superhero stuff, definitely watch that one. It's really good. It's got a non-conventional sort of mix of a speedster type hero and Spider-Man. The guys who wrote it are hardcore Spider-Man fans, currently working on an official Spider-Man manga that is one of the best Spider-Man books that Marvel's put out in the last 20 years. They get those characters, and it's basically what if Batman trained Spider-Man as a fanfic?
We've had this on the podcast before.
Have I said these exact words?
I think
not
so.
those exact words, but you've described this before, yes.
Okay, well, yeah. Vigilantes.
Now you really need to read that comic, listeners.
Vigilantes, or watch it, because it's a show now from the director of the JoJo anime. It's a really good anime. It's a really good story. It's much tighter, much more character focused, much more adult than Hiroaka. Okay, well, people will give me trouble for saying character focused. I think it has more personal stakes to the conflicts. I would actually recommend that both of you guys check out Vigilantes. I don't know if I would recommend it enough to put it top 100 either, but it's a lot closer. And maybe something we should consider.
So I would actually like to say one last thing, which is one of the reasons why you may have seen me be a little more dismissive of My Hero is because all the people whose opinions I trust and who have kept up with it this whole time have been very dismissive about the later half of My Hero Academia. And so I have found that I have a good gut for these things, but I still check myself as much as possible with people whose opinions I really respect. And like your twos are obviously pretty high up on that list. But the fact that neither of you bothered to keep up tells me everything, especially when you both have a literal financial incentive to keep up with this cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, it is. There are parts that I was like, when I was still keeping up with the manga, there were parts I was like, when the anime gets here, I got to make a video essay about this because I really like it. Like, there's the way that they redeem the character of Endeavor in, I think it's season 5 content, maybe even season 6. But there's a extended arc where they do an internship for Endeavor's hero agency, and like they like Horikoshi really dives into like he's a piece of crap abusive dad, and he like wants to have a relationship with his family, and he needs to make amends for that. And like I think that was handled really well, and like back then I wanted to make a video essay about it. But I just got so burned out on it. I just got it like it was the combination of I was getting tired, and then there was other stuff I could read in the Jump app that was just better, you know? Like Chainsaw Man was starting then, I believe, or was in like it was going. And you know, if you're going to choose between reading one of the greatest manga ever written and a very good kids story, you know, what are you gonna pick, right?
Consider this
Sexy
quest
Commando.
killed.
Yeah, we'll consider it killed for now. I will, you know, I'll watch it and I'll call an emergency go to the church and resurrect the dead body quest.
A resurrection quest.
Yeah. If I find that it's like actually peak, as some people have reported, like people I trust have been like, yeah, it's pretty good. Well, I mean, some people I trust have been like, yeah, like the final arc, the final battle's like pretty close to peak. A lot better than the finale of Naruto, for example, is one they've thrown out, which...
Okay.
If that's the best they can do, nah.
I think
consider this quest killed.
Better. Okay,
consider this quest killed.
But now it's time for our main quest of the week, which is one that I have assigned to our intrepid party, although I didn't need to because we've all watched it at least once, some
twice.
multiple times. For me, it was 3 times before we even did this, because I love it. We're talking about Odd Taxi, one of the most exciting original anime to come out in the last few years. Absolutely brilliant in terms of writing and storyboarding and just general cinematicness. It is the story of a man named Otokawa, who is a taxi driver in Tokyo. He is a man. He is also a walrus. All of the characters are anthropomorphic animals. This came out.
Cuckoo.
What?
Cuckoo Kachu.
Cuckoo Kachu. Yeah, this came out right during Beastars and Brand New Animal. That like weird period where just like
anime are furries now. Yeah.
And so this one stars a taxi driver named Hiroshi Otokawa, who's kind of odd. He's just kind of a weird, blunt dude.
Likes really weird and not funny comedy.
Very, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not funny, but it's an acquired taste.
A very acquired taste.
Their careers are falling apart, but I wouldn't say it's not funny.
The careers falling apart is the funny bit.
I was about to say, any 2 characters in this show are funnier than they are. Yes,
which is part of, especially the cops. The cops are a better Manzai duo than they are.
The Cop brothers, yeah.
I mean, but yeah, so he does late night cab shifts driving around Tokyo. He's just kind of living his life. He's got friends. He's got various people he runs into.
He's got a doctor that cares for him a lot.
He's got a doctor,
good friend,
and
best bud,
and the nurse too. And he's got one very sad monkey pal who's both of his best friends are monkeys. He's best friends with a gorilla doctor named Ayumu Goriki and just a sad sack named Kakihana.
Gorillas aren't really monkeys, Geoff. Let's keep this legit here, okay?
Okay, yes, apes. Sorry.
Apes.
One of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, an ape and a monkey. But yeah, so he's just living his life, being chill with a small friend group, and then one day, a crime happens. A girl goes missing. The last place she was seen was in his cab. And the people start looking into that. And
a lot of people start looking into that. Cops start looking into it. Yakuza starts looking into it.
Multiple different Yakuza groups start looking into it.
Yeah.
And the case of this missing girl, and whatever Otokawa is keeping in his closet, that he talks to at night, and
says you can escape at any time.
Yeah, and
feel free to leave. I'm not keeping you here.
And all of the people chasing after this girl, why she went missing, who she even is, all gets tied up in the lives of various people taking taxis around Tokyo for just 12 episodes of peak cinema. It is a very hard show to elevator pitch, right? It's basic, like...
Well, also because, like, there are certain things that you gotta you got to understand going into it and just be okay with. The anthropomorphization of everyone, you just got to be okay with that. It's just part of the thing. He's a walrus. He's talking to an alpaca.
His doctor is a gorilla.
His old doctor is an alligator.
Dogs.
The cops are dogs. Just deal with it. Everything's fine. But then also you have to realize that from a narrative perspective, a lot of this relies on convenience. So many of the plot threads all tie together just because they need to tie together, and you also have to be okay with that.
No, that's not
absolutely
not. That's absolutely not. What?
Can you Can you explain to me how a taxi driver gets involved with 5 different separate groups that all for some reason happen to be at that lake at that time?
Yes,
because
let me explain it to you.
Narrative convenience.
No, absolutely not. They earn. I would. To answer you, I would say there's a 13-episode anime I'd like to show you called Odd Taxi, which explains all of that exhaustively.
The web of connections between all of these characters exhaustively.
My point is I understand why they connect, but the fact that half the time when they get introduced, it's like, oh, they just happen to take his taxi out of all of the taxis that they could take.
Man, do you remember when Butch goes back for the watch and then he sees Vincent Vega taking a shit on his toilet and he shoots him?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. Are you mad about that 20 years later?
No.
30 years later.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying you still have to get used to the fact and deal with the fact that, by the way,
it's not convenient. You've got it.
You've kind of got it backwards here, because it's not like these characters who are essential to this story just coincidentally got in the cab. These characters get drawn into the story because they're in Otokawa's tab. Kabasawa, cab. Did I say tab? Cab. Kabasawa, the social media guy who gets big because he takes that selfie.
Who just happens to take a selfie that just happens to have the mob guy Tristan in the camera.
He doesn't just happen. I mean, he does just happen to be taking a selfie in the cab, but he isn't essential to the story until he takes that picture. And then he's drawn into this.
And now he's part of the story.
Well, no, Otokawa is a literal black hole, narrative black hole in this story.
Everything falls into it.
Him. But the thing is, it all falls into it slowly, organic. It builds up to it. Are you saying that it's so strange that there's 3 different mafia groups on the Flying Pussyfoot in 1933? Come on, Tristan. Yes, it's pretty crazy that happened. But also, it happened because that's what the whole story was building to. That's the point. I have never experienced another piece of media other than maybe Magnolia that is this tightly interwoven. Mm-hmm. The fact that all the characters interact with each other, the P.T. Anderson movie Magnolia, which, by the way, if you have not seen, extremely good, 5 out of 5, perfect movie.
Well, I mean, if you're recommending it, I gotta watch it, because my kind of, you were talking Tarantino, and to me, a lot of this reminds me of a Tarantino movie, including a lot of the dialogue has that sort of snappy rhythm to it.
It wants to be Tarantino, Tarantino wants to be Magnolia. Let me put it that way.
Tarantino, okay. So
Tarantino would love to be P.T. Anderson, honestly, when it comes to movies like Magnolia. But the dialogue is definitely a bit more Tarantino inspired. It's very obviously Tarantino is a fix here, because there's so much of that naturalistic dialogue, which, by the way, sounds terrible in English because of lip flaps. Because the dialogue, the things they're saying are super naturalistic, but the way their cadence, the cadence of it, just feels so forced and stilted. And it's man.
Yeah, I haven't watched the dub for it, but it does feel like one where the ADR director probably should have just been talk naturally and don't worry too much about the lip flaps.
I think so, because the actors are pretty good. It's just it does not. I got taken out of it every 5 seconds
because it's. In Japanese, it's so natural, just the way they have these offhand conversations about pop culture topics that sometimes end up dovetailing in and being relevant to the story in really clever ways. But then also just help to ground it in the real world, despite everyone being a talking animal. which is, yeah. But yeah, it's, to your point, it's a very tight script. I don't feel like anyone is there just coincidentally. Like I was saying with the influencer guy, right? Like he just gets the picture of that criminal, and then that's what gets him looped into this whole thing where he comes back in later. But B, that's part of what gets Dobu on Adokawa's case. You know, like there's.
Are you saying that, Tristan, that these are a bunch of assholes, or are you saying that like are too many convenient like plot points?
No.
What are you trying to get at?
It's the matter of there are certain things that do rely on convenience. And if you are not okay with something relying on convenience, you might have more problems than others here. It is very much convenience that there is a girl that gets in his cab, and then later her manager and other people happen to grab the exact same cab in Tokyo that has how many cabs running at any given time all throughout the city?
Well, hold up. Her manager getting in the cab was absolutely not a coincidence. That's like a really, really important plot point.
He didn't know that it was that cab until he was already there. When he found out that she was in that cab, then he got interested. But he didn't pull down that cab for that reason. Like, once he found out that she was in the cab, he was like, do you have a CCTV camera? I'd love that footage. Like, that was the thing. But he didn't know what cab he was getting in. He was just getting a cab to bring his talent around.
Well, I mean, I think
he
was
happened
looking
to get into
I think he was looking for the cab. I think he was looking for the
But he
cab.
didn't know that he was in the right cab until he was already there.
But also, like, he was, it's the area where she would have picked up a cab and the area that they all work in.
And he's the only cab? Like, I'm saying there is a level of convenience here. And
Well,
I'm fine with it. And I'm fine with it. I'm not saying that I personally think it diminishes the story at all, but I can recognize that it's one of those, it's a thing that I know bothers some people. So I am putting it out there as a warning, this might be a thing that you might not like. I don't care if you don't like it, because I do. I'm fine with it. But here is the thing. That was me trying to go through the list of potential things that you might not like. Because if you don't like anthropomorphized characters, there are a lot of people that just refuse to watch things with anthropomorphized characters. I have tried to get certain people into Beastars, and they just won't touch it. Will not. And I'm like, but you, okay, fine. So, like, it's one of those things. That was my point.
Okay. I certainly see where you're coming from here. I guess I just feel that the show has done, like, Odd Taxi justifies a lot of its assholes better than any other piece of media I've ever encountered, watched, played, read.
I wouldn't even call them assholes. I would just say, like, it's an organically developing story. I mean,
if we're gonna jump into spoilers, figuring out who what's his face, the eraser guy is from episode 4, like, what are the chances? Like, again, does the show earn that? I think so. Does it even put seeds in it? Like, it was certainly all written that way all along, right? Like, this,
it was there from the beginning, because they introduced the eraser first. Then you had Buddy that had his whole story about, hey, when I was in elementary school, there was this eraser, and then you're like, oh, that's a Chekhov's gun that's going to fire by the end of the show, isn't it? So that was the thing.
I mean, that Chekhov's gun fires a few different ways. That's what's brilliant about Odd Taxi, is they set up that one thing with the eraser, and then it, like, A, has that main connection to the central mystery, but then B, it's the monkey wrench in the works.
The literal monkey wrench.
Of what feels like, for a really long time, just a irrelevant side story about some crazy guy whose life wasn't going well, and he got addicted to gacha, and it ruined his life even more. And then he decided to blame a guy who was just in the wrong place, wrong time.
Because, he was in the cab and things like that.
Yeah, just
the number. So when we say Chekhov's gun, like this is really a show of Chekhov's repeating cannons, and they're all firing at all minutes of every episode. Like,
and then
once you're in the back
several. And then several things on the table are actually guns in disguise that you didn't even realize you were supposed to be paying attention to.
And when we get there, well, I mean, we've already been talking about spoilers. I will say that having rewatched the show, after watching the show, holy crap.
Yeah.
There is so much there that this is a show that I would say is very, very good at handing you like 90% of a puzzle that's missing pieces and doing it so in such a way that it's not even telling you that there's a puzzle there. It's like, what are you talking about? Like all throughout episode 1, I made notes. I made freaking notes that I have lost and they're gone now. Wait, no, they're actually here. Yeah, so the best kind of twists are the ones that you never see coming. So when Oda was asked at the very start of the show why he became a taxi driver, he had one of those like Vietnam style flashbacks, but everyone in the Vietnam style flashbacks had human proportions. Yeah. Despite the fact that none of the characters do. And that happens a lot. There's multiple times that happens.
And you just think, oh, that's just their Detective Conan silhouettes. And you don't think about it that much because it's such a stylistic element.
And then just like
I guess
how
we
they
are in
word
spoilers
things.
Now, though. I guess we are fully in spoiler territory, though.
You gotta though. It's one of the most interesting things to talk about with Odd Taxi. It's
but I mean, it's impossible. Yeah, Odd Taxi is kind of impossible not to spoil. You kind of have to be. It's one of the greatest detective stories ever put in anime. It's just a fantastically tight script from both a dialogue and plotting perspective, and it's very, very well directed and just overall absolute cinema. That is the only recommendation you can give to it without talking about the many, many, many big twists layered within other big twists.
And I will say, I think, again, Magnolia, Pulp Fiction are obvious comparisons, right? Like, and Baccano, sure. But one that I really kept coming back to as I was watching was, well, just the Coen brothers in general, their films, but most specifically, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Because just like Kira, he just wants Otakawa just wants a quiet life. He just wants a quiet life. And
does he, though?
The dude...
That's the thing. He says he does. Yeah. He says he does. But then there are moments where he's just like, just as planned. Moving the chess pieces around.
No. Well, no. He wants a quiet life, and he's
just very good at manipulating other people to get there.
Like the dude.
Yeah, like the dude. Yeah, no. Big Lebowski is a great point of comparison. I'd say Burn After Reading, another really good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, the Coen brothers wish they could write this tight of a story. Like, and that's the crazy. That's the crazy thing about it, right? Like, this is why Odd Taxi is so cool.
Yeah, the one other thing that we can say before diving into full on spoilers, it's what we alluded to with the gotcha episode as a single episode. One of the most brilliant breakdowns of like the psychology of addiction and I mean, like gotcha specifically as a societal problem, collecting and how people
attach that to their self-worth.
Attach their self-worth to like having stuff when they can't achieve stuff, and just like, oh man, what a brilliant character study in 20 minutes, right?
Well, also because like it's extremely relatable too. Like that whole, hey, when he was a kid, there were like some kids that like had things, and when they had things, like they were popular. And so you get it into your head that, well, if I also had things, I would be popular. And then like you get the one thing, and then maybe you had a tiny bit of popularity, and then you tasted it, and then you lost it, and you never got it back. And it's like a drug where you're constantly trying to get another shot of the good stuff for the next 10 years of your life. before you find gotcha and fall down an even deeper hole.
It's like being a millennial kid, right? Everyone's into Pokemon, and you're like, yeah, I can make all these friends over Pokemon, and then like slowly realizing, oh man, nobody else is as into Pokemon as I am.
I mean, you say that, but at least in my schoolyard, everybody had Pokemon cards. It was just the really shitty thing of like, I was part of the Pavo, the kids that like, we had one deck and that's all the cards that we had. Meanwhile, the other kids, the ones with a lot bigger allowances, let's say, had a lot more cards and could do a lot more things with them and like to brag about, hey, I got this holographic Charizard. Do you? No? Sucks. It's a shame, man.
That does suck, because one of those could put one of your kids through college these days.
The first editions, yeah. The reprints, no. And I know because I have one.
You have a reprint, okay.
I don't have a first edition Holo Charizard, but you know, when there were so many years of your childhood of people being like, I have a holographic Charizard, yeah. Eventually, you find yourself in a position where you can get a holographic Charizard, even if you're in your mid-20s, and you're like, okay.
But like the thing with the cards, you know, people collected them, right? Like people our age collected them.
Yeah.
But like even the kids who had the money to buy good cards weren't actually getting into being good at the card game for the most part.
Nobody was good at the card game. Nobody played that card game the way that it was supposed to be played. Nobody played Yu-Gi-Oh! The way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was supposed to be played. There were so many home rule ways of playing those games. That's
entirely the anime's fault, right? Because the anime, like, you know, the completely different rules.
I would also say that happens with every board game, with every card game, period, with people, no matter what. If you are
with
not
kids,
going to with people. Do you know how many people are still defensive about the way that they play Monopoly? Like, claim that
all the wrong ways that they play Monopoly that ruin the game for everybody.
Have you seen the arguments on social media that people have with the official Uno account about how Uno doesn't know how to play their own game?
Yes. Yes.
It's like, yeah. So that's a very good episode.
The thing is, I was looking at like IMDb before the show to see like, so I rewatched I think 7 episodes of the 13 to like a little more than half.
I rewatched all 13 in 2 days.
And that was one of them.
I thought we were talking about something else today, and then I realized we weren't, and I was like, oh crap.
I knew that it was pretty like well locked in my brain. Like most times when I watch an anime, I've got other stuff going on in my life. I really do feel like I need to rewatch it in full to like even Princess Jellyfish, which was like a pivotal foundational anime to me. Like it, and where every scene was like cemented in here, I still felt the need to rewatch it. With this one, the right amount of recency plus that like it was such a singularly evocative and like almost personal show. But I looked at the IMDb and I saw that like episode 4, which is the gamer episode, is like one of the highest rated episodes of the show, but to the point that the first 3 episodes are poorly rated. And then I was seeing a bunch of people talk online about like, oh, I wasn't sure about this show until episode 4. And I'm like, guys, like I do think episode 4 is extremely good.
It's good,
but I don't think it's actually any better than the first 3.
No, the first 3 are like as soon as I saw the first episode, I was like, this is an all-timer.
Yeah.
You know,
having rewatched all of them in the last like 24, 48 hours, I'm like, I liked episode 4, but I wouldn't say that it was so much far and away better than the first 3 that
I don't just seems weird better
to me.
Yeah. But the thing is that affected people because they were finally able to relate to it and couldn't just get in through the writing. So I have a story. So this came out.
People, just to that point,
they just don't want a 40-year-old protagonist.
No. People don't know good writing if it jumps up and bites them. Like, just a lot of people just don't know what good writing is straight up, and do not know how to recognize it. Do not. The
dialogue from the first go was perfect. Like,
not even the
moment I watched.
No, you want to know what actually sold me, and I remembered it when I watched it this time. It's a very small, tiny little thing. Somebody gets in his cab, and you hear him shift gears into drive. And that Foley, just that. And then like 2 scenes later, rolling down a window, I'm like, I'm in. Little things like that. I'm just like, this is perfect. I love it. I love it.
This show came out right around the time I left Crunchyroll. And so I had just gone through a couple years of like deprioritizing my most favorite shows for promotional purposes because I was trying to be a pragmatic person within the company and trying to be responsible and all those things. But I saw this, I'm like,
trying to be boring. This
was the first quarter where I'm like, normally I would definitely be pushing for us to, you know, do one for the hardcore fans or for like the, you know, the artsy people. Like, it's always good to throw those people a bone with marketing, just because this is the kind of show, if it does find its audience, which we're going to talk about in a second here, when it does find its audience, it becomes a sensation, and then that's cool, because then it's something that you can like say like, hey, I helped do something here.
Yeah.
You can tell that to the publisher, which is nice. Everyone's happy. But also it's a show that people are not going to find on their own naturally, because there are too many prejudices people have against new media. If it doesn't look exactly like something else, a lot of times people aren't just going to stumble into it.
And that's why I made it my personal quest to make as many people watch Odd Taxi as humanly possible.
And literally,
with my channel.
Literally, within 24 hours, interest in Odd Taxi, and this is right after the show ended, Odd Taxi spiked and stayed like relatively popular forevermore because of Geoff, this guy here, whichever way I'm pointing, it's probably the right way at one point. And editor Tristan.
Usually it's like down. Usually it's down in a bit.
And Gallant.
Within 4 hours of each other, posted videos saying, this is the most important anime. Holy shit, guys. And then from then on, Odd Taxi was a sensation in the West. So thank you, Geoff. Thank you, Gallant, for both like saying like, please, you have to watch this. I know it's got XYZ, but you need to watch it. And those issues with it are just things that make people less inclined. They're not actually issues with the show, right? Like, it's just, but yeah. I want to also just like publicly apologize to Jesse and Braith at Crunchyroll, who were like, what are we doing for this title? And it was the first time I was the first and last time I was ever cynical and said, you know, I think we should just, you know, not worry about it. And they pushed ahead. No, they pushed ahead. Everyone else pushed ahead.
And they were correct.
Well, no, I guess like
that's why he's apologizing.
Like,
yeah,
maybe like I had spent so much time defending promoting shows like this in the past. And then to see other members of the team jump up and like they made a little mini documentary for it, all this stuff, like so cool. I'm so glad it got the love it deserved.
Can I brief aside, because Tristan was talking about how the sound design was what sold him.
Yeah.
Can I just, so I was curious, so I looked up the sound director, Kohei Yoshida. Mm-hmm. He's got a pretty small list for a sound director, right? But I'm just gonna read down the list of his stuff. Aside from Odd Taxi.
Yeah.
Lycoris Recoil.
Okay.
Dungeon Meshi.
Yes.
Makein, Too Many Losing Heroines. Onimai. Dark Gathering. More Lycoris Recoil. Rari Rocks from this season. And With You in the Rain. And Ugly Mug. Epic Fighter, which is better isekai than you probably think it is. Also Bullbuster, which was like Bullbuster. Man, I that's one of my favorite shows that like
I love the concept of it. The concept.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. The concept is better than the execution.
Yeah,
but I do also think the idea of running a small business with a mech is just great. Very Pat Labor code.
Very Pat Labor. Miles would like it, maybe in concept. Who knows if you'd like the execution? We'll see.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, you're right. The execution on it was hit and miss.
Yeah.
But like Miles, I think it would probably be one of your favorites above either of us.
Yeah, between the three of us, probably.
Yeah, it's a vermin extermination company that uses a medium-sized giant robots, Pat Labor style, on one of Japan's abandoned islands.
Medium-sized giant robots.
Medium giant.
Medium giant. Yeah, medium
sized robot.
Medium mecha. Medium sized mecha. Okay, I'll just say mecha. What? You're giving me a hard time.
I'm just trying to understand terms because you're saying things that contradict each other. So I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
But yeah, to the main point, goated sound director, and you are correct, Tristan. Like, that is part of what makes it so cinematic, right? The soundscape of the show just sucks you in, even though the animation isn't that impressive overall.
Yeah.
Like the storyboarding is like the storyboarding. Every single shot is perfect.
Yeah, like the cinematography is great. The cinematography, the direction, like all of that is great. But it's not like you're not getting a Sakuga fan into this for anything. I don't.
Yeah, unless they are like a very, very, very strong connoisseur of limited animation and great camera work, right? Because it's like. I'd say
unless
it's Gundam tier storyboarding, like OG Gundam tier.
Unless they want to watch a female alpaca try and do martial arts.
I mean, okay, the capoeira scene. That is some Sakuga right there.
That's one thing that I like about Odd Taxi is there's so many scenes like that where it just feels so specific and evocative and like perfect because it's also an easier way to sell the show than most things. But then there's also just like every time they're in the sauna, right? It sets a certain context for the conversation. It kind of brings you back. Like it's almost sitcom like in the way it uses sets, and yet each one of those sets end up having this secret relevance to it, which is so like again the tightest. It is we talk about how tightly written things are here on this podcast.
We talk about that a lot.
This is probably the tightest story from the most technical storytelling you can do without making it feel robotic. Like, but every little detail relating to every little detail is like what people describe One Piece as. When it was like
what we describe Dungeon Crawler Carl as.
Well, what Dungeon Crawler Carl is.
What Dungeon Crawler Carl literally is. What's brilliant about it is it's a scene of these like not a scene, sorry. It's a series of these just deeply human and very esoteric vignettes of like people being weird in very specific to them sort of ways. The capoeira scene, the failed comedians working at a nightclub. There's all these just moments that feel so authentic to human life. Kakehane getting catfished on Tinder.
Yeah.
And it's all these like little things that just feel like things that people around Tokyo are doing day to day. And it, with this deft, gentle touch, weaves them together into this immaculate tapestry where not a single stitch is out of place and every single piece connects together.
There's this one scene where they're talking about cassette tapes and like giving each other crap about like, why would she know that? Like, she's way too young for that. And it's like, I knew about phonographs, right? Like, people are aware of things before their generation, but then they call back to that the next episode with another age gap conversation. And then it actually is more than that. It's meaningful to Arakawa's relationship with, oh my God, the alpaca girl in general.
Oh, yeah.
And
well,
also,
who is better, Bruce Springsteen or Cyndi Lauper? These are the conversations for the ages that Japanese animation is having.
The Bruce Springsteen thing was specifically where I was like, that line and that whole conversation.
You just like saying the name Bruce Springsteen. Say it three times fast.
I do very deeply enjoy hearing Japanese people say Bruce Springsteen. It's just, it's
you didn't even say it right once.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
But yeah, no, like it's such a great moment of like these characters' lives, and you don't even realize how much setup is being done in that scene.
Oh my God. Yeah.
In every scene.
That's the one where it's just like, so what do I look like to you? A gorilla. I guess that makes sense.
I will say I did have I didn't.
How did you know it was me? Oh, you're the only alpaca around here.
Yeah. So the thing is, I did actually twig to the twist, if I remember correctly, before the end of the series, and that didn't ruin it for me at all. In fact, it actually I liked it more because it set it up so well that I could pick it up, but it was still very subtle. It's not like we still have to get to talking about Lazarus, where like they just show you the answer to the mystery straight up. And like, if you're paying a medium amount of attention, you know how it's going to end.
They also spend a decent amount of time covering their tracks pretty well. So a lot of it is because of like Oda was like his own like little mental problems, his own little
sorry. I was wait. You're getting me mixed up. I'm saying it's better than Lazarus. It's not like Lazarus. Lazarus had the problem of telling you up front, whereas Odd Taxi layers it in very subtly, where you have to really be paying attention to all the little inconsistencies with Otokawa's perspective.
Yes, but then my point is that there are several times where scenes without Otokawa in it also kind of reinforce it. There was a scene with the white-haired idol and the one comedian guy, and she makes a comment of like, I don't want a pet like you with a horse face. And he looks like a horse. So it's one of those, like, if you look at it in retrospect and you're just like, huh, what's going on there? But also, like, not knowing the twist, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And it just like helps to cover the tracks a little bit. At least that's what I found.
Yeah.
Because there are times that other people make mention to like how animal looking characters are. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, of course, as you watching it, not having seen the end of the show, you're like, well, of course. But then they start getting a bit more deeper into the like, no, he's really good at picking people out. Why is he really good at picking people out? And he responds, yeah, I just don't understand why you're all so bad at it. And he's doing it in such an obvious way. It's just like, of course, that's what's her face. She's like the only alpaca we know. Of course, the alpaca looking woman is going to be her. Like, duh.
And by the same token, of course, he'd like be in a special danger to getting into the deep spoilers now. But you know, the killer
we're there.
We've been there for a bit.
We have been there for a bit, although we haven't like directly said what the twist is.
Go ahead.
Which is that Otokawa has brain damage that causes him to perceive other people as talking animals, and this is in fact set in the real world. And there is, in fact, an entire separate J-drama that takes place parallel to the Odd Taxi timeline now called Root of Odd Taxi, which is just about two human reporters following Otokawa around and investigating this story. Which is, man, what a brilliant way of approaching the cinematic universe. And Odd Taxi did have that from the beginning. There was a audio drama of things that the recorder pen picked up that released every week between episodes. So there's like this.
I seem to recall this, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if I remember correctly, it's like a podcast of this guy leaves this microphone around for his like a vlog or a social media account or whatever, of like he records random conversations around Tokyo and just posts them on the internet, right? And then that becomes a huge thing, right? And you start, like, if you're paying attention to that, you're like, who has the pen right now? Every single episode. And that was like this really cool, almost ARG element to it. You know, it's such a tight story that like you can just create a spinoff about exploring it from a different angle.
And it's fine. It's like Hamlet. And then you can make Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. It's perfect. A+.
I would actually no, that's some nonsense right there, Tristan. Odd Taxi is way better written than Hamlet. That hack bitch Shakespeare has nothing.
So before we talk about where to put this on the list, Tristan and I just need to acknowledge that we have not seen the movie, which is a recap, but adds a little bit of ending to it. But in the same way that Evangelion is the perfect TV show, yeah, you would have just watched the movie instead of rewatching all 13 episodes.
No. Had I known literally, like I knew that the movie existed, but I knew that it was a recap film. And it wasn't until about an hour before recording that I found out that there was like 15 minutes of new footage at the end of it. And I'm like, oh, had I known that, I would have gone and watched those 15 minutes before we recorded, but we didn't have time.
The thing is, I think it would be almost impossible for me to change my opinion on the TV show itself.
No.
And I cannot imagine a story that's this rich benefits from being condensed, because there's not a wasted second in all 13 episodes.
I've seen it. It doesn't benefit from being condensed, but the recap is actually really helpful for sorting out your thoughts because it rearranges the clues and shows them in different contexts. So the hook for the recap movie, if I remember correctly, because it has been a while since I've seen it, is it's kind of like a documentary about the events of Odd Taxi told through interviews with characters that kind of like goes in. It approaches the mystery from these people were filming a documentary already, and then it goes into the ending, and then it might not be I'm pretty sure it's a documentary. It's been so long, but the ending is just a final 10 minutes that tells you what happens in the cab after the Sopranos ending of the original.
The Gynax ending of the original.
No, just the perfect. No, it's like what's it called? What's that Chris Nolan movie?
Inception.
Yeah. It's the Inception ending.
Yeah, I felt totally satisfied. I mean, maybe a Sopranos ending is totally a fine way of saying it, but like that also speaks to it feeling off.
Well, the thing is like, you know what happens at the end of Sopranos.
Well, I know what happened here, or rather, the only things that are still left up in there don't matter narratively. They don't matter from a character perspective, and they don't matter narratively.
Otokawa's already had his arc. We understand the mystery. All of the characters have gone through it and developed. It's not, you don't need to know whether he lives or dies, but if you watch the movie, you will know.
Okay, cool. Maybe I will someday.
It's not a great telling of the story, but I do think there's value in it if you've already seen the show.
I mean, considering how much I like this show, I think I should just watch it because I think I liked spending more time with these characters anyway. But things like this tend to sometimes undermine the original. So
a little,
Most of the recap films that I've ever watched are kind of like that, because almost any time I have done it, even when they've added quote unquote new footage, I've always looked at it as, I wish I just rewatched the show, because the pacing was a little bit better and not like tried to cram everything into a theatrical length.
I mean, do you remember Love and Macross, OG Macross? It's still a little hard to justify. You know what? I'm not going to win this argument.
No, Gundam.
No, I mean, Gundam.
No, the OG Gundam trilogy is fine. It's great.
It's fine, but you should watch the show.
So the thing is it a suboptimal way? I don't necessarily think so, but is it the best way? No. Does it undermine some of what Gundam is saying? A little bit. But not too bad.
Miles, you just said, is it a suboptimal way? No. Is it the optimal way? No, it's a little bit sub that.
Okay, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not actually that much of a downgrade. It is just so.
It's not.
This? No, I know we're being pedantic here, but no. Let me explain myself. Watching the Gundam movies is totally fine, and you should treat that as the baseline, and then the TV show is better, rather than the TV show is the standard and the movies are
worse,
slightly worse way, because the movies are so good. And because the original series is so incredibly long.
It's like the Lord of the Rings and the extended editions, right? You're
watching the extended.
And, well, no, if you're
watching the extended.
There's no world in which I would watch the theatrical versions in my life.
Well,
or recommend anyone do so.
Unless I'm accidentally watching the theatrical
Well, no, but the theatrical versions are more approachable. And the theatrical versions were how a lot of people fell in love with Lord of the Rings.
I would sooner chain people down to chairs to make them watch
Than
miss Saruman's death. Come on, let's be real here.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. There is a lot missing. There's more missing from that than
missing the passing of the axe.
Actually, there's about the same amount. There's about the same amount.
I'd say there's more missing from Gundam, but Saruman's death is like the big one moment. But I think the levity that is so important to like making Lord of the Rings like a world you want to live in, and also just to giving you that experience. Like those movies are more of an experience than a film sometimes.
He should have extended it enough to have Tom Bombadil.
I am fine. Like I'm a huge Tom Bombadil guy, and I am hi ho Mary doll, dirty doll, my darling. Light as the feather wind, and so like it's fine. It's fine. We don't need Tom Bombadil in movies. I just wish the Hobbit movies got the same love that or were able to get the Guillermo del Toro movies made instead of what we got. And Peter Jackson probably wishes that too.
I mean, The Hobbit should have just been one movie.
Every year, I get a reminder from Facebook saying, "Would you like to see your memories?" And I always like it because I get to see like old pictures, like baby pictures of my boys. It's just kind of nice, right? But every year is my essay about how excited I am that they've turned The Hobbit from 2 to 3 movies. About how this is the greatest day of my life, basically, because they're going to make 3 Hobbit movies.
And like every time you look at that, you just wish you had a time machine so you could go back and smack yourself in the mouth.
I'd probably smack New Line Cinemas on the mouth.
Yeah, just go smack New Line Cinemas instead. Oh man. They were doing that to everything that back then though. The Hunger Games, Harry Potter, Hobbit, everything got like split down. Yeah, Twilight, just splitting every final movie of every single franchise right down the middle. Cause like, why not collect 2 tickets for the price of 1?
I actually don't know how Harry Potter ends to this day.
It's fine. It's terrible. I've read
the epilogue, but I don't know the ending because I'm like, I'm not going to go see another movie.
So like, I'll tell you how Harry Potter ends.
No,
finally get out of the castle to explore the entire greater wizarding world. And it turns out that J.K. Rowling barely thought about the world building at all outside of that one castle. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. It just sucks going around to really boring places and like people's houses where some magic happened once to find artifacts, to collect the 7 magics. Yeah, the 7 Dragon Balls, the 7
Horcruxes.
I mean, it's more like, I know it's the Horcruxes. I was trying to give an example. I was trying to remember what the collectibles in Ocarina of Time are. The 7 emblems? Is it emblems?
Well, I mean, you start off with medallions. And
then
it's the seals of the sages.
The sage seals. That's right. It's the same. You got 7 things you got to get so that you can kill the bad guy, and you can't kill the bad guy until you have all 7 of these things that let you kill the bad guy. It's just like the plot of a video game, and that's how this entire childhood-defining epic fantasy story.
And how it will be again, thanks to HBO. Thanks, HBO.
Oh, they're never finishing that show. They're going to get like 3 seasons in and get canceled at most. I mean,
Odd Taxi, where does it fall on the list? So I was looking at our temporary lists, and I think I'm very surprised by all of our placement.
Because remind us where it is.
Yes. Jeff has his at number 21 on his TV list. Okay. I have it at 54 on my TV list, right next to Delicious in Dungeon. And yours is 81. And if I had
Why
to guess,
is it that we keep doing that? Why? This is like the 3rd or 4th time where we've gone back to the original list and we've all had it, and I'm the lowest out of the 3 of us. And it's almost always in that order: Geoff, Miles, me. What is that? What's up with that?
I don't know what's up with that. That actually doesn't make any sense.
That is really weird.
You do have Shirobako higher than me, which, calling back to the earlier part of the episode, is so funny. And I think it's accurate. It's probably true.
It's probably true.
Tristan literally loves Shirobako more than the world's biggest Shirobako fan.
By how much? Where is it on yours? It's 8 for you, and it's 4 for me. I love it twice as much as you.
And it's not on my list because I haven't watched it yet. So on this rewatch, did it go up on either of your lists?
Well, no, it should have been higher in the first place. It didn't. My opinion didn't change at all. I was just like, I'm like, why is Laid Back Camp like 20 points higher for me?
I mean, because Laid Back Camp is very deeply personal to you.
It's
better.
Good.
It's better. Not
yeah.
To be clear, it's not going above Laid Back Camp, but that is the range in which I'm
like the way that you said that is like, why is Otaku lower than Laid Back Camp? And I'm like, oh,
okay, no, but so here's the thing: Laid Back Camp is just, I love it, but it's not like the pinnacle of fucking storytelling, Tristan.
Okay,
which Odd Taxi kind of is.
Odd Taxi kind of is, as is Neo Yokio, which is also in that same range.
Oh, okay, but I mean, we all know that Neo Yokio is like top 15.
You say I'm the only one who has it on their list, of course.
Yeah,
okay,
hit Control F.
But
Control F on in our spreadsheet and find how many times it shows up.
But when we do that episode, I'm gonna say it should be top 15.
I mean,
it's not even in your top 15.
It's not even on his top 100.
For our collective list, I feel like it should be top 100. I feel like I just didn't think of it at the time, but it should be.
I mean, that is a thing that I've noticed has been a problem with the original list that we combined, is that we didn't think of everything.
I mean, we were all kind of blotto, just writing down anime that we like.
Well, also, to be honest, the temporary lists we call them temporary still, what was this, 2 years later?
Yeah.
So the thing is, they were supposed to help us figure out what to watch all together, so then we could then collectively
make a definitive list.
Yes, the point of this podcast, right? So
there are, according to this chart, there are 14 TV anime that are on our combined list, and Odd Taxi is one of them. And Odd Taxi is in one is the top 5, within the top 5 of the shows that we have combined.
That our combined lists from before we started doing this, right? And I think it's like, there's no way it leaves any of our lists by the time we're done.
No. This is on the list. I mean, to be clear, with all you listeners, Tristan has it lower than I think he should, because I think if we have to compare notes, I know it may not have sounded like it this episode, but Tristan, I think, likes this anime more than I do even.
Yeah.
No, I would.
It's just a matter of, do I like it more than a lot of the other things that are above it on my list? It's like, do I put it above Vinland Saga? I don't know. Do I put it above Golden Kamuy? It's like, there's a lot of things that are personal to me. So when it comes to like my personal list, it's like, should it be higher? It's one of those, I'd be fine with it until I actually look at what it's going above. And then I'm like, but I really like those. So that's usually where I'm at. And that's why we do this as a combined effort of the three of us.
Yeah, like maybe 21 is too low, I think. Maybe. Let me go look at the list again.
I mean, looking at our list, I think the easiest things to talk about it next to are things like another anime original we talked about recently, Apocalypse Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it you put this higher than Apocalypse Hotel, Geoff?
Oh, that's...
I know Tristan would not. I'm going to put money on he would not. You would not. What do you think, Tristan?
Well, I mean, if you're putting money on it, you might as well actually bet with Geoff. How much money are you going to put down?
Okay, $5 says Tristan puts it above Apocalypse Hotel.
I'll take that bet.
Tristan.
Miles, you owe Geoff $5.
Wow. Interesting.
I would put Odd Taxi above Apocalypse Hotel.
Okay. That's,
but that's the thing. That's on the individual things. There are things lower on our list than Apocalypse Hotel that I would not put Odd Taxi above, but that's kind of just the nature of our list.
Yeah, I mean,
Royal Space Force is going to bother me every week. Like, if we can get Royal Space, if we move Royal Space Force above Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, You can do whatever you guys want. You
Dungeon
can place this wherever you want.
Dungeon Meshi is actively bothering me right now.
But we know that we're going back to Dungeon Meshi. We will always go back to Dungeon Meshi.
But like the thing is, I would like I'm really torn on it because like I love Apocalypse Hotel. I also need more time to digest Apocalypse Hotel to like really know how I feel about it versus Odd Taxi. But like, I would say Apocalypse Hotel's about as goated a comedy as Odd Taxi is a mystery. I think that like Apocalypse Hotel.
I think you leaned in far more of the comedy than we did. I see it less of a comedy, more of I don't know if like a slice of life. It's not even an adventure film.
Well, I'm laughing because I'm crying, right?
Yeah, no, but that's the best. That is the best kind of comedy. And like, I really don't think you can look at specifically the funeral episode of Apocalypse Hotel and like see that as anything other than just the funniest shit ever. While also bawling your eyes out. But I don't know if I think I'd put the script writing above Dungeon Meshi, and you guys know how much I love the plot of Dungeon Meshi and
would you put it above
tight that is.
Dungeon Meshi, Future Knowledge Dungeon Meshi?
Probably, yeah. Like it's
wow.
It's I had to ask.
It's a really, really tight story.
It is.
But on the other hand, like I mean, I love Dungeon Meshi's world a lot, right? So there's like
I love Tokyo. Period.
It's very tight, right? Like I would put it above Dungeon Meshi for script writing, which is, or sorry, for plotting and narrative structure, which is one of my favorite things about Dungeon Meshi. But then, like,
would you say that it is a tighter story than Taco P?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
easily,
think there's if we're talking about the economy of storytelling, I do not think I know an anime that TV anime that does this better.
Than
Odd Taxi?
Odd Taxi?
That said,
I mean, there probably is one. Could we name it off the top of our head? No.
The thing with that is that's not the most important thing. Like
Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is really tight.
I love an art to have the highest highs, and I'm more forgiving of lows. Like I don't mind a messy bitch is what I'm saying. And so Odd Taxi is not messy at all. It is almost too perfect in a way. Thankfully, it does not feel sociopathic. It does not feel like it's just a spreadsheet. But they probably used a spreadsheet to put it together because it is so tight.
Oh, there is no way that they could have coordinated that audio drama with the show without like the most insane spreadsheet you've ever seen. And they're still using that spreadsheet for spin-off manga, spin-off TV dramas, all sorts of stuff, right? Like,
but I think
it's as tight as Higurashi. It's as tight a timeline as Higurashi.
Let's come back to that one later, okay?
Let's
not open that can of worms 2+ hours into the pod. I think based on what you guys are saying, this is going to end up in the top 20 of our combined list no matter what.
More than likely, yeah.
Especially top 10 TV anime, probably based off of what we're saying. And Tristan, I think if you were to be honest with yourself, it'd be around 40 on your list. If you were to like, on
the old list,
yeah, on your own personal list. I think this is just in aggregate something where the three of us have just a lot of overlap of what we like and what we're looking for in anime. So,
yeah, I mean,
if you guys let me move Omiyane's up one slot, you can put it wherever you want.
I mean, that's you're playing hardball here, but like Miles, you also want it really high on the list.
Sure.
So, I mean, technically, Miles, if you say wherever we want, if we were like, okay, we'll move Royal Space Force up one space and then put Odd Taxi under Pompo, you'd be fine with that by those logic and rules.
I would net be happier. Yes.
You know what? I can. If you
I'm not
want to
suggesting we do that. To be clear,
if you want to move Royal Space Force above the anime that shall not be named, because unless we finally have our bonus episode out
by the time that this is
for
up,
the members,
if you want to move it above Bloodlust,
you want to move it above Bloodlust, go ahead. Odd Taxi. Okay, so for me, I'm looking at our list, right? And I love Apocalypse Hotel, right? Like my love for Apocalypse Hotel is about equal. The thing is, if we're putting it above Apocalypse Hotel, I think it also has to go above Princess Jellyfish.
I don't know.
Because Princess Jellyfish is really good and also like a very good like story that's deeper than it seems that acts as slice of life for a while. With better Sakuga, let's be fair. Is Princess Jellyfish anywhere near as immaculate script-wise as Odd Taxi?
Which one are you going to remember in 10 years? Which one are you going to think about more in 10 years?
Odd Taxi for me, for sure.
Jellyfish.
I'm also Jellyfish, but I'm fine abstaining.
Because it's easier for me to say that because it's been 10 years and I'm still thinking about Jellyfish. I don't know if I will still be thinking about Odd Taxi in another 5 or 6 years once it's like been 10 years since it came out. I don't know.
We're far enough away from Odd Taxi to have nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
Like, so when I hear the opening song for Odd Taxi, I feel a certain kind of way. Like, I'm like, man, I'm remembering everything, where I was in my life and all the good memories of watching it, mostly, right? Like, that's primarily what happens when I have good feelings about an anime. When I hear the opening or ending of Princess Jellyfish, my body like shudders. I get so emotional because I think about everything that series has meant to me. And the thing is, if I go back in time, that's basically been my reaction since the first time I watched episode 1.
So really, then it comes down to, are you comfortable, Geoff, with putting it above Apocalypse Hotel? Because if you're not, we know where it goes. It goes immediately under Apocalypse Hotel.
It's just so it's difficult because it's things I value in art. They both excel in very different ways, but like they're both peak, Like Apocalypse Hotel is, if we're talking about emotional reaction, I have a deeper emotional reaction to Apocalypse Hotel, right?
Really?
That makes sense. Based on how he's described a lot of things about Apocalypse Hotel, I can believe that.
Yeah, no, like humanity coming home, the funeral episode again, the whole time skip arc. There's so many like just things that really hit emotionally.
I'm gonna fuck you up so bad when we watch Eccentric Family, dude.
Probably you will. Odd Taxi, like
you need to watch Eccentric Family.
Like Odd Taxi has an emotional connection, but the main thing that like has it burned into my brain is like the intellectual exercise of watching Odd Taxi is so satisfying. Is there a better mystery out there in any medium? Like on the same level, sure, plenty, or like not plenty, but some. But like better?
Yes,
like
Clue 1985.
Okay.
Yes.
Clue,
1985. Everything else is a red herring.
That is the level we're talking about here, though,
it is,
right? It's a tighter mystery than Blueprints. It's a tighter mystery than Apothecary Diaries.
Great Train Robbery. Murder on the Orient Express. Guess Who with My Little Brother.
Hound of the Baskervilles. It's just like peak. It's just peak mystery writing. Think about how from just the first few episodes, the seeds planted in those first few episodes, your brain retraced the entire series because that's how good the storytelling is. That's how strong.
Is that how good the storytelling is, or is that just how good the foreshadowing is?
Well, no, it's
or would
all
you combine that?
It's one and the same.
Well, so I think it gives a little too much credit to storytelling to have that narrative tightness. Like, I think that just by having that like very exacting, like, we're going to do the callbacks, we're going to go back to the beginning, we're going to show off all these things, we're going to plant all these seeds in episodes 1, 2, and 3 that are going to pay off later. That's great and satisfying, but it is not, to me, fundamentally good storytelling. It just is really satisfying when used in good storytelling. And it makes you justify. And to me, like, that was why I was like freaking out at Tristan earlier. I'm like, dude, the fact that everything's like, hard to believe, no more than other stories, but like that, like, there's a lot of really convenient timing of that things. It earns it because it does this so well, but that's still not enough to make it like good on its own. Like that thing is not. You need a Dungeon Crawler Carl story or an Odd Taxi story to make those things good.
Yeah. So like, the perfect structure is worthless if the characters aren't also very, very strong. If it doesn't have interesting things to say. And I mean, Odd Taxi is just like it, if we're talking about thematic depth too, there's a whole lot of commentary on idol culture, gacha culture. It's really a story about Tokyo, right? And
all the things Westerners love to hate on about Japanese culture.
I guess kind of, like Yakuza, idols, gacha. It kind of is, but it like
loneliness epidemic. Yeah.
But it explores those as social ills, but also like the cause generously of them. And like it's such a sociologically fascinating story, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So this is where I get caught up because like Apocalypse Hotel sings to my heart, but then Odd Taxi is this. It's so unassuming when you go into it. It's so easy to go in, but it's got the depth of an ocean. It really is that like dungeon crawler Carl type beat where it's like, haha, fish Nazis. And then like 50 chapters later, you're like, oh my God, fish Nazis. You're like, computer's got a foot fetish. And then like 100 chapters later, you're like, oh God, the computer's got an unbirthing fetish.
Above or below Apocalypse Hotel, Geoff?
I would say probably we should put it below. And then once Geoff figures out his thoughts and fully commits, we can horse trade it above.
Above. It gun to my head, above. Very slightly above, but above. Okay. Because like, I'm talking, like the emotional truth is like, I love Apocalypse Hotel, maybe a little bit more, but like, I like smart stuff. Maybe that's me being pretentious. I don't know, but I like stuff that gets my brain going. And it's really hard to think of anything that just like gets every cylinder firing like Odd Taxi,
I really like our top 10 right now. If we had to stop right now with this top 10, I'm like, I want to make some changes, of course. It looks like recency bias for as much old stuff as we watch. It looks like a case of recency bias, which, by the way, is vastly overstated by armchair critics and analysts. Like sometimes new things just happen to be good. Like there are
surprise.
It took years for there to be anime that made my top 10 list, but then all of a sudden, when it rains, it pours. Like the fact that like Takopi and Apocalypse Hotel were in the same year as Orb. What the hell?
Yeah.
and Don to Don and
yeah, sure, whatever. I love Don to Don. Don't get me wrong, listeners at home. I love Don to Don. I'm not behind on Summer Hikaru Died though, which is telling you something. All right.
And on that,
But I mean, it's also crazy Summer Hikaru Died is airing next to Takopi and right after Apocalypse Hotel and going into, I'm sure there's definitely some crazy stuff dropping next season. It's just, when it rains, it pours, I guess.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Next time on Quest for the Best, Pokemon.